Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politarhos. For more information, visit betrayawealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
My name is Mark Owens. Local guidance, local experience, local commitment. George Politarhos, how you doing this weekend?
I'm doing great, Mark. Good morning, everyone. How y'all doing?
Speaking of local, man, cool little event you had last weekend with some of the families you serve. Went to a little minor league baseball game. How was that?
Great. We had our box down at the Blue Rocks here in Wilmington. Mm-hmm. We got a chance. It was on Sunday we were there. I don't know if you remember how it felt on Sunday, but it was hot. We went there, and thank goodness we have the luxury of having the seats outside, beautiful sun, right. Sunglasses, hats on. Why? And then when you start to perspire for the ladies, sweat like pigs for the men, we got a chance to go inside to the cold suite and cool down a little bit. So we had a great time. You know, it's nice because one of the things I'm really proud about, Mark, is it's not all about business. Mm-hmm. It's about letting yourself have a good time, being grateful for the situation we're in, mingling, having like-minded individuals get together and just laugh and have some good time and some, have fun, taking something sweet other than business all the time.
And I like the way you said that. And look, it's okay to be bougie. George isn't putting you out in the bleachers in the outfield. He at least understands, man, let's get you a little AC. Let's get you a little coverage as well.
Correct. We need to stay cool.
Always take.
And let's be real, I do that for myself. Let's call a spade a spade. I don't want to get too hot.
It's not them. It's all about me. 302-330-2166. How to reach out to George and the team at the Betraya Wealth Group or betrayawealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A wealth.com. George, always thinking about income and retirement. Let's talk about annuities here for a minute because they've come a long way over the last 50 years. Now, back then, high commissions often benefited the seller more than retirees, giving the product a bad reputation. I want you to hear this clip from Morningstar analyst Don Phillips, who says it's time to rethink that because annuities, they've evolved.
People think of investing as a game, and who ends up with the highest pile of cash wins that game. But you really need to realize that investing is a means to an end. And things like annuities are something that fit into that and can be a very helpful part of giving people greater security. And to me, the whole reason that you help people with investing is that you give them that kind of security, that stability, so that they can know that their financial future is firm, so that then they can, go and pursue their dreams, do the things that really matter to them.
I want to focus on what he said there. The goal is stability and confidence. Where do annuities fit into a retirement portfolio?
It's a great analogy put together because annuities had a bad reputation. The annuities from 30, 40, 50 years ago, your parents' annuities have evolved. They've changed a lot. He pointed that out. Mark, one of the things we talk about for people is once you retire, people that have a pension have a guaranteed income stream, live 27% longer and happier in retirement. Because you know that on the 15th, my check comes in. It's there every 15th of the month or every 1st of the month, however we want to set it up. Now, does all your money belong in an annuity, folks? Absolutely not. I think one of the things that Don did not point out is you still need some risk. You still need some opportunity to take higher advantage of the markets and have a little safety involved with the annuity part. The annuity can be accumulation. It can give us a lifetime income. We can set that up to be never run out of a cash stream in retirement. You may run out of money, but you're not going to run out of the cash flow coming into your bank account every month. Let's think about it. You've worked 30, 35 years in retirement. You've done everything right. Now we transition. We go from wealth accumulation to wealth management, and we use the annuities to help with the wealth management part. Living the next 30 years the way you want to. Does that mean you don't have a budget, Mark? Like you just said, of course we have to have a budget. We need to plan for everything. And we have a client, Alan, who retired from Wawa. And he had a great job, did really well. Now that we've taken his retirement accounts and we've transitioned into the next step, he's having more income coming in now than he had when he was working. He has a higher standard of living because he has his Social Security. He has a pension or annuity that we set up coming in every month on the 15th for his requirements, what he wants, for the rest of his life. He's doing all the things he could never do before, folks. He was too busy working. He went to California to visit his brother. Last month, he went to Hawaii for 3 weeks. He has that lifestyle that we work so darn hard for. Mark, you're still in that age, that group, where your daughter's a young lady. She just started eighth grade?
Yeah, 13.
They go by too quick, right? But us older folks, our kids are grown. We're now enjoying our grandchildren, and we are traveling more. We worked for this. But having that budget set up helps us allows us to do that. And the annuity is such a major part in that, making sure we have the money coming in every month. Along with our Social Security, and if we have a pension, we're really above the game. But it's about the planning, the process, and using the tools available to help benefit you and yours. You know, Mark, when you're retired, what's one thing an annuity can help us with? It can protect us from market volatility. Because when you're working, you need the volatility. Mm-hmm. When you retire, we use annuities to offset that and take away the problems you may have, right? Because the market's going to grow, but the annuity will never lose money. There's an old Japanese saying about if you get on the wrong train, you get off the nearest station. The longer it takes you to get off, the more expensive the return trip will be.
Yeah.
And it's for more than just making a train ride. It's about making the right choices for retirement. Annuities, like we said, long time ago weren't right. And if you had them, you had a problem. Today, it fits really well for most people. Last year in 2025, $462 billion with a B dollars were bought for in annuities. Think about that. People see the benefits, the features, how it can help them and their family, help with legacy planning, but more importantly, how to help you never worry about market fluctuations, never worry about the downside, and always have peace of mind to go forward. If you're thinking about how am I going to manage if the economy turns the other way? What am I going to do if something in the market happens and I'm all at risk? Give me a call, 302-330-2166. Let's give you options or which annuity works best for you, because there's so many different types. How can we make that work for you in your scenario?
I invite you to make the call. George, you said something. You said when you were working with that gentleman who's living his best life after retiring from Wawa, you said he's getting a bigger paycheck now than he did when he was working. How is that possible?
Well, think about it, Mark. When you're working, he has one job. He's contributing to his retirement account, right? And he's not enjoying life. He's now retired. We're taking an avenue of income from Social Security. We have an annuity funding income every month, guaranteed for life. If he lives to be 100, God willing, he'll never run out of that income stream. And then another part of that money we have invested in an IRA. So when we need extra money, we need to pay for that upgrade when we go to Miami or Hawaii, and he wants to fly first class, which is really funny. When you meet Alan, he's one of the most down-to-earth, humblest men you'll ever meet. He said, he goes, I'm never going to fly anyway except for first class because I earned it and I deserve it.
Amen,
and
brother.
He's absolutely right. So we need some. We have the managed funds because we need that risk, right? We talk about you need some risk in retirement to pull additional funds out when he needs it. But that's what having an income plan does, Mark. People get concerned when they retire. They think when I retire, things are going to change. And they think negatively. We always think negatively. We never think positively until you see it in black and white. Mm-hmm. And so many people have those great spreadsheets. They have that. I think the hardest thing we have is that, I don't know how big your forehead is, your brain is, but you have 6 inches between your ears, 7 inches between your ears, which drive us insane. Because that's the worst thing in your head is the numbers you keep running through your mind.
Right.
You know, we talked about this before. We look terribly at ourselves. You look in the mirror, Mark, and I see all the warts. I see all the bad things, all the scars, all the bad steps. You never see the good things. And that's what most people do. We have in our head all these things. Oh, I can't afford to retire. I don't have enough money saved for retirement. That unicorn number we talk about isn't big enough.
Yeah.
How am I going to manage? I don't have a paycheck anymore. Until you see it in black and white, you see the scenario, you see the plan. When you come in and meet with me at Portray Wealth Group, I'm going to make sure you have what you want, where you want to go, how you want to do it. Because remember something, this is your money, your choices, your decisions. We're local right here in Wilmington. When you want to come in the office, there's no appointment needed. Come in the office, we'll take care of you.
Where are you?
We're at 501 Silverside Road, Suite 31, right here off of Silverside Road in the Carr Business Park. Let's have a good cup of coffee and let's plan our course of action.
So you answer my question about how can my paycheck be bigger? It's because of those multiple streams of income in retirement. Is that fair to say, George?
Absolutely right, Mark. You hit the nail on the head. Having those opportunities, the diversification you need, and the plan to go with it will give us more money while we're retired than you had when you're working, and less agita, less concern, less churning of the stomach, less sleepless nights.
That number 302-330-2166. And George, for a lot of us, it feels like you just said it. My daughter's 13. She's in 8th grade now. It is going like that. You've said the same thing about your boys. You've got grandkids now. Time is going. So the big question is time sneaking up on you? I want you to hear this clip from influencer Eric Hobaugh, who's certainly feeling time sneaking up on him.
Nobody warned Gen X how fast this part of our lives would happen, and that's the truth. 1 minute, you're 28, thinking you have all the time in the world, and then suddenly looking around realizing, oh my God, we're the old people. Nobody warned us about how that was going to feel. Nobody warns Gen X after 50. Time starts to moves differently, much faster, scarier, more serious.
I'm Gen X, you're Gen X. A lot of the families you serve are Gen X right now. I never thought I was going to be the person thinking about income and taxes and my 401k. I thought I was going to be young forever. I thought I was going to have my hair and no back pain. Well, guess what I don't have?
Yeah.
Hair, and guess what I do have? Back pain. So here's my question to you, George. Many adults in their late 50s might be feeling the same way. And for some of us, it comes with that tough realization that we really haven't done anything to plan for retirement. So what do you say? I want you to talk to that adult right now who's getting close, but then suddenly realizes, oh, man, I feel like I've waited too long. Now what?
You haven't waited too long. You've never waited too long. The problem is that you weren't at that step yet to start looking seriously at this thing. People are so loyal to their past that they don't focus on the future.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we use the analogy of going to the principal's office when you're in school. And you got called to the principal's office and you're scared because you're going to get your hand smacked for not doing something right or being bad. That doesn't happen. You come here and deal with me at Betrayal Wealth Group. That's not how we treat our family members. What happened when you were younger is not what today. We're in our age group where we're 50. It's time to get your head out of the sand and start focusing on the 15 to 20 years we're going to have left before we stop working, tentatively, right? How to plan accordingly. Those mistakes, the shoulda, coulda, wouldas you did in the past, who cares about them? Forget about them. We're here to focus on what the next 20, 30, 40 years are going to look like and how to be in the right place. It's really funny. We talked about this before, Mark. I get out of the chair. I have my recliner at home. The dog's at my feet. And I get out of the chair and I hear the noises in my knees and my back.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, that papoule, that grandfather noise.
And you quickly realize it's not the chair that's making the noise.
No, it's truly me.
It's you.
And I feel so bad right now. If my dad was still with me, I'd go over and give him a hug, kiss, say, I'm so sorry for mocking you and making fun of you, Dad.
I get it.
You know, I get it. But that's where we're at now. So we have to plan accordingly. We need to get back on the course. And even though you sat there and you've done a great job, think about this. You've been working for 20 years. You have built a great amount of wealth. You've done fantastic. And maybe didn't know what you were doing, and look what you've done. It's time now to let the experts step up and start to project how we're going to go forward, what the plan of action is going to be, and the course we're going to take. We have to start thinking about the future. We got to start thinking about how we're going to start using this money in 10 years when we retire. Which bucket of money are we going to take out of? If I don't have a Roth, do you think I need some tax-free income, George? Think I need a Roth? How about legacy planning? Should I have some legacy planning starting now? I'm working. I'm still making money. Is it time to start planning for that stage in my life? When you have a holistic plan, folks, that looks at all the factors, it gives you a different view. It's like when you sit there and you see a picture from above, from a drone, how different the view looks, right? Because you see things on this level where we're standing, and all of a sudden you get a view from above. It's a different picture. That's what we're going to give you when you come in to Betray Wealth. I want you to have your rose-colored glasses on. I want to think about all the stuff that you're not ready to think about. The next step. I want to think about, do I need long-term care? Probably. Is it the right age to do long-term care now? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We have some new clients from the radio show from Middletown, Delaware, and they're new to the area from Long Island. They came in and we're looking at their portfolio and it looks great. The one glaring thing missing right now is the long-term care.
Yep.
And he says, I think we need to address this now. And our answer is, it's not the right time. We have another 4 or 5 years of window opportunity, which will be a better time for us. Let's look at it then. That's what this is about. Call me at 302-330-2166, and let's start making sure we get our ducks in a row before the time might be too late to make any corrections if there's a problem.
302-330-2166. George, I want to hone in on that adult that could be listening this weekend. And they heard you say, kill the unicorn, kill that misconception that I have to have $2, $3, $4, $5 million if I want to retire comfortably. What would you tell that adult listening right now that says, George, I could use a little help with income and retirement, thinking about my risk and my portfolio, always worried about my taxes. But George, I've only got about $400,000 in assets. I mean, I've done a good job. I've got a good 401k. I've been building on, some of my portfolio, but man, I really don't have enough. So why am I going to call you now, George?
Well, because you think you don't have enough, because the internet's told you haven't had enough. But you live a different lifestyle than someone that needs $2, $3, $4 million to retire. Mm-hmm. Most of us don't need that much money. We have to just have the right budget lined up in place and be able to use what we have to maximize our future. I hate that number when they say you need $1 million, you need $5 million, you need $10 million, because it's not true for everybody. We use the analogy, Mark, that everyone has a different size shoe.
Right. Oh, here we go.
Right. I wear 15. Someone else, I'm not picking on you today, Mark, you're too nice. Someone else may have a size 10. What's right for them is not necessarily right for me, and vice versa. We talk about those companies that they fly in from Ohio, for example.
Yeah.
They have offices all over, and they fly in from Ohio, big box firms. They don't understand how you are, because they sit there and what they do is they put you in a box. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, you're 55. This is the right investment box for you, and they slide you down the assembly line. And then you get the flavor of the month next month, whoever the agent will be next month, next year.
Yeah.
And they leave you there and they forget about you. When you work with a family company in our neighborhood here in North Wilmington, we service Wilmington, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, down to the shores. It's about building the plan that's right for you, what your wants are, what your needs are. Mark, you and I don't have the same interests.
Yeah.
Mark truly loves baseball, and that's a great gift. My passion's more like going watching Leslie ride horses, be honest with you, working in the garden. And that doesn't make Mark good or bad, or me good or bad, it just makes us different. And you need the plan that's going to fit his needs. I think one of the things Mark's going to want to do is probably visit every baseball stadium in the country. I want to visit every bourbon brewery in the country.
I mean,
that's my goal.
We can get on board with that together as well, George.
But that's what makes this planning so important.
Yeah.
And making sure the people you work with understand who you are and what you want to do, even if it's not what they want to do.
Right.
Does that make sense, Mark?
100%. And before we hit pause this weekend, spent a good amount of time talking about income, talking about risk. I want to talk about taxes for a couple of seconds, because you mentioned a Roth conversion not too long ago. That's a great opportunity to help mitigate taxes in retirement, but I don't think enough people take advantage of it, George.
Well, they don't. A tax strategy is something you work at, like anything when it comes to a retirement plan. It just doesn't happen. I'm always amazed people think, well, when I retire, it just occurs. I don't have to do anything. Mm-hmm. You need to work for it. And the way we take advantage of taxes is making sure the strategy that we put together fits our bucket of how we're going to go forward. Maybe it's a Roth conversion. Maybe it's not, but we need to look at that, how we're going to do that. One of the things at this time of year we're going to start talking to a lot of clients about is tax harvesting. And what does tax harvesting mean? You sit there out of your portfolio, your managed funds, and you look at the stocks that are not doing well, and you start selling them off for the loss on paper, that loss you have, to write off against those gains you've had. Hey, who wants to give more money to the government than they legally and morally have to? Not me. And I love our country. I love it. We're so blessed to live here and be here. I hate the way they spend my money. We could talk about Delaware state government all day long, Mark, and have my head turn purple. But it's about making sure we look at the opportunities available and how we can use them to build our retirement future. This is about your retirement. Maybe it's doing some tax harvesting. Maybe it's starting to do a gradual conversion of Roth, of qualified funds or 401k, your TSP, and converting them to a Roth. Maybe we're at that age group, that 50 age group we talked a little bit ago, about starting some tax-free investments. When we die, we pass on tax-free money to our beneficiaries, or we use it as a pension. Pension. Does everybody have pensions out there?
Nope.
Maybe not. Most of us probably don't. We can help you personalize another form of income with a pension. When you call me at 302-330-2166, we're going to go through those things together. We're going to see what is the right tax strategy to take forward, along with your income plan, along with when to on Social Security, making sure we're covered for long-term care, and making sure that you have your Medicare lined up during open enrollment, which starts in a couple weeks, couple months. Call me at 302-330-2166, or you can text that number, and we'll schedule you to come into the office and start the conversation together. No one works harder for your retirement than yourself. Portrayal Wealth is here to help you, guide you, direct you, go into retirement, and have the next 30 years be exactly what you want.
Insurance and annuities offered through George A. Politarhos, Delaware Insurance License Number 1373121. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.